And I would like to thank, first of all, for your invitation to present here. And actually, I'd like to thank everybody already giving me a standing ovation over there to the side. That so rarely happens. Actually, could you all stand up and clap for a few minutes, for a few seconds? Stand up and clap, please. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, really? Please stop. I think we all need a hand every once in a while, whether you're a parent, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a student especially. And I love this photo here. This is one of our students, Courtney. And this saying, that your existence gives me hope, is something that I live by, and that we believe this at Toppenish High School with all of our teachers, with our community, but we believe first and foremost that every student deserves an adult advocate at school. And we know that you're here and you are adult advocates, and for that I applaud you. So thank you for everything that you do for students. Thank you. We have if you don't know anything about Toppenish, Toppenish is about 20 miles south of Yakima, middle of the state, edge of wine country, 60 wineries within about an hour and a half if you're a wine drinker. Clap. No. So this is one of the views of the valley, the lower valley. This is actually the view right outside the school. Very nice. And we're located on the Yakima Indian Reservation. We have about 780 students. We have 85% Hispanic population. We have about a 9%, 10% Native American population. And in our school, the students are 99% plus free and reduced lunch. So we have a population that is very poor. But the great thing about our population is when everybody's poor, you really don't know how poor you are. And another great thing is that we help each other in so many ways. So I love this view of the school, even though I heard the oohs and ahs when I showed Mount Rainier and the country. For me, this is the best view of the school because this is looking back where everything takes place and everything happens. So I'm very proud to be the principal of Toppenish High School and to represent Washington State and all of the principals and all of the great efforts that are happening in Washington State. Everything that you do and our teachers do and our community and partnerships to the nation. So it's quite an honor. But let me tell you about my family a little bit here. So I need your help because you all have it figured out, I'm sure. This is the PTA, right? Washington State PTA. So you've got it all figured out. So this is our Christmas photo from last year. This is right outside our backyard, and this is about photo number 158 or something of what we're taking. Would have been perfect. Would have been perfect had my 16-year-old not done the bunny ears right behind my son. So how do you handle this as a parent? What's that? What was that? Photoshop. Photoshop. Okay. That's exactly what I did. Here's my Photoshop. Yeah. I am so happy they kept taking the photos as I showed my parenting skills. It's amazing we accomplish anything at the high school, I'm telling you. So we kept taking photos then, and we thought we had a pretty good one. So this is where the 7-year-old lost it. And nobody knew because, of course, he's in the front row. So it started getting a little worse. And actually, the next photo, we didn't do Photoshop. We actually ended up going with the next photo. And so the next photo is actually our Christmas card from last year. Here it is. You know, since he's bonding with his best friend and my daughter has her eyes closed after the bunny ears, we thought, you know what the heck, this is who we are. Let's just show the world. And it makes me think about our school and what we do, because what has really made us successful at Toppenish is that we accept who we are. And we don't make excuses, and we don't think about all the what-ifs. What if we had all this funding coming in? What if we had two-parent households with every family? What if we didn't have students that were living in poverty? What would it be like? It doesn't matter, because we deal with our reality, and that's what I hope and pray and believe that you do every day in your districts. I hope that you approach your jobs, because you have a job, in that same manner. And what's special about what you do is many of you are in this, I would imagine, step forward because of having a child in the system. But you are impacting so many other students by what you do. So you are making a difference for the entire system. And that was the same reason I got into education. I wanted to have a school where I would be proud that my children could attend, and I'm glad that we were able to achieve that. It's one of my favorite photos of our students because it reminds me of how important it is to stick together, to be together. Every one of these photos is from our school. And this is the first day. But we establish at our school what are called small advisory classes, which is kind of a learning community that meets daily for 24 minutes. And many schools don't do this, but we've carved out time every day to meet for 24 minutes with a mentor teacher that will loop for 4 years with that class. And they establish relationships with the students. They teach them about planning for high school and beyond, navigating all kinds of systems that they're not used to. Because remember, we have parents that are working graveyard shifts at the casino, multiple jobs, migrant in the fields all day long from early dawn till well past dusk. And we have students that have to get their siblings to school themselves instead of the parents. So it's important to have those mentorships established. So our goal, I think, in this room is to make the impossible possible. And all it takes is crossing out and believing. There's a saying I love that whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And we have to teach our students that they can. We are keepers of hope, not dashers of dreams. And we have the ability to dash so many dreams by things that we say or reactions that we give. And it's very important for us to remember the power that we have as adults. I tell my staff, and I believe this, that a student could go through the entire day without hearing one positive thing from an adult. And that is tragic. And if we remember that as adults and think of those interactions that we have, that we can really live what we believe and be those keepers of hope and not those dashers of dreams, then we make a tremendous difference just by our attitude and the way that we interact with our students. The next segment that I'm going to show you, it's going to cue right away. It really makes me proud. It's not talking about our high achievers, our STEM program, which, by the way, we've implemented 11 classes, 11 sections, 27 classes in a school of 780 students in 4 years. Phenomenal. I could talk for hours on it. But this is what thank you. But really, applaud for the next one, because what we don't hear about are the silent majority or silent minority in some cases, and this is our special ed population. So if you see, let's see if this will, there it is. So this young man, and there it is. What we were able to do at Toppenish was to establish a daily PE class for our severe and profound special needs students. This was something that we did not have for years. Our students would be in a classroom all day long. They would never leave that classroom. They would have teachers that came in and worked with them. But by doing this, we moved our students every day for 24 minutes. They have, or actually this is a longer period, so this is about 45 minutes to go participate in adaptive physical education, to strengthen their muscles, to achieve in ways that they've never had to achieve before. These are students who often have very high challenges mentally, but they have challenges physically as well, and too often we don't address those challenges. As I look at our next young lady here, this is the very first day that she ever walked. She had an operation the month before she recovered. This almost makes me cry every time I see it. Her mother is in the back, and you'll see her mother to the right. And watch her as she steps forward like she were just a toddler. Here it is right here, where she's trying to help her, and then she steps. That gets me every time that this program would mean so much to her parents and to her, that now she can practice every day that walking that she needs to change her life just by something that we're able to do in our schedule and something that's very simple for us to do that hadn't been considered before. So these are some of the things that I'm very proud of that we do at Toppenish High School. Thank you. Everybody needs somebody. And if you look at these next photos, you'll see that everybody's with somebody else. And we truly believe in that mentorship philosophy, and we need parents to step up, and they do in our area when they can, but as I said, they're very occupied as well, just like many of you are. And oftentimes, there's no instruction manual on being a parent. And I wish there were. I would have done a better job with our photos. But when you get together, more than one, and start collaborating and working together, great things can happen. We have, as I said, our STEM program that is now turning, this is one of our other, here we go, our STEM program where we're seeing phenomenal success with all of our students. And one of the great things about our STEM program, somebody was asking me earlier about it, what makes ours different from so many? We've had schools come over from Spokane and from this area to see what we're doing, because what we do is we allow every student to take any engineering class that they would like out of any sequence. And people are like, how do you do that? Well, we scaffold the learning. We work with the students. We have teachers that are willing to do that are trained, that go beyond what is expected, like so many teachers do nowadays. As you saw from Jeff Charbonneau talking, wow, that guy has some mad skills, I'm telling you. I wish I could recruit him. But he's doing great things in Zilla. So you see, when we're together, everyone achieves more when we become a team. How fun is high school? We've also been able to maintain all of our art programs and really emphasize. I don't know if any of you have ever read Malcolm Gladwell's, one of Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. It talks about nobody, not if you're Bill Gates, not if you're the Beatles, doesn't matter who you are, nobody ever makes it alone. And I think too often we we forget that with our students, with our children, that they really need us every step along the way to help them, but not rescue them every moment, but help them navigate and become reach the potential that they have. You're getting a flavor for where I'm from, so this is great. Another thing that we're able to do with our students is develop partnerships. I got to tell you about one of our partnerships. You are so instrumental as parents in reaching out to the community and making great things happen. One of the great, probably the best partnership we have is with AB Washington Beef, and that was developed. It's our local slaughterhouse. I know. And what they do is after meeting with them, they now donate all of the beef hearts, eyeballs, and cow joints that we can use for our biomedical program. Now, I shared that 2 days ago. I was in California, Palo Alto at Stanford, and I was speaking to a bunch of educational writers. And when I mentioned partnerships and started talking about cow eyeballs, everybody laughed because they're from Philadelphia and Detroit and all of these big cities, and we're country. But it really makes a difference in reaching out to the community and developing partnerships that can last well beyond the career of a principal or many of our teachers, because those are the lasting relationships that helps our students every step along the way. So as you see, once you have one person with whom you can develop relationships, it's easier to become 3, and then to become more than 3, 5, 6, 7, and develop more and more partnerships and more of a family. My belief with our students is that everybody wants to be part of something great. And I told my staff that when I first went there 5 years ago, that was one of my beliefs. My first was, don't come to me for every answer, because I don't know probably more than you in many cases. You've been at the school longer. You know your subject matter better. And I have that balcony perspective of what we need as a school, but I don't know any more than you. But the other thing I told them is that I believe that everybody wants to be part of something great. And sometimes as a staff or as students, we don't know necessarily how to get there. But if we work together and we keep that end goal in mind that we can achieve beyond what is expected, then great things, as I said before, are just around the corner for us. So I only have a few minutes left, and I wanted to share with you that being a principal has been one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done in my life. Of course, that's behind parenting, because I have that responsibility to oversee an entire building and affect change with many, many students. You have that same opportunity as parents, especially in the school system. The involvement that you put forth in helping our students makes significant change. And if you are not I've got to tell you this, and I know I'm probably preaching to the choir, because we don't have the parental involvement that I see in here, and it's something that we strive for and work towards on a consistent basis. When parents are worried about where that next meal is coming from, it's very hard to get them into the school at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night once they come in from their jobs or from the fields, when they just want to get home and rest. But if we can reach out and involve the parents that are active and realize that you are not just there for your child, but you're there for every child, then we can develop these phenomenal schools. Because I'll tell you what, Jeff Charbonneau is not doing it by himself, even though we're all impressed with what he's done, and I would be the first to say I would love to have him teaching my children. But it becomes a team effort, because, as I said, everybody wants to be part of something great. We just need to make sure that we take the time to build the systems that we need in place to make great things happen. So this is one of my favorite. So this is Miss Yakima Nation, and I could easily have 2 more photos up there of her with her FFA jacket on, of which she's president, and her cheer outfit on when she's a cheerleader. So this is what this young lady has become in 3 years at our high school. She's very confident in her community, but she's also very confident in the biomedical programs that we've offered. So some of the things that we've been able to do, thank you. Some of the things that we've been able to do at Toppenish with the help of our community and with the help of parents are some of these awards that you see listed. But it's not about the awards. It's, as I go backwards, it's about what we're able to provide for students. So I don't like that award slide, but I feel it's important to show the way that the state is recognizing what we've done, and the way the nation is recognizing what we've done. We're just a small town school, 780 students, 99% poverty, 95% diversity. And we have all of the indicators that would tell, the experts would say, make it so you cannot achieve. And yet we deal with what we have, we don't worry about what we don't have, and we march forward and strive to make a difference every day. And so I just would like to close and say that I'm very proud to stand side by side with the National Teacher of the Year in recognizing all of you for what you do on a daily basis, and to recognize that Washington State, as one of my dear friends put it last week in an email to me, he said, wow, he goes, Washington State is the epicenter of the educational universe at this moment. And I know it's because of what we're able to do here all together, and that mentality that we have, that we just move forward and make that change that we want the world to be, and not wait for somebody else to do something that we can. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great conference the rest of the way. Thank you. Oh, please.